Connie Sumner lives in Westchester, New York, a calm, upper-middle-class suburb outside Manhattan. Her husband, Edward, is a successful real estate developer. Together, they raise their young son, Charlie, in a beautiful house with a backyard, a dog, and all the warmth of a stable marriage. But something is missing. Their conversations are functional. Kisses routine. Passion long gone. It's not broken, but it's flat. And that's when the wind changes everything. On a particularly windy day, Connie heads into Manhattan to run errands. She's juggling books and a cup of coffee when a powerful gust knocks her off her feet in Soho. That's when she literally crashes into a man. Books fly. Her knee scrapes. Her breath catches. He's young, handsome, French. His name is Paul Martel. He helps her up and insists she come upstairs to his loft to clean her cut. Connie hesitates for just a second. Then she agrees. Paul's apartment is warm, bohemian, full of books, and just slightly chaotic. French jazz hums softly in the background. He cleans her wound, offers her tea, quotes poetry, talks about the meaning of books and love and accidents. He stares at her, not just with interest, but hunger. She smiles politely, then leaves. But she's rattled. Something inside her has already shifted. Connie tries to return to her normal life, grocery lists, school pickups, making dinner, folding clothes, but Paul lingers in her mind. She revisits his building under the pretense of returning a book. He smiles when he sees her again. And this time she doesn't leave so quickly. It starts with a kiss, then an apology, then another kiss. Then the floodgates break. They fall into bed with urgency, hands clawing, breath ragged. The affair explodes, lustful, thrilling, and raw. She returns to him again and again. At home, she lies to Edward about errands, about traffic, about nothing in particular. She doesn't feel guilty. Not yet. She feels alive. Days become double lives. She rushes from carpool to Paul's apartment, from PTA to sex, from the grocery store to whispered French moans. Connie becomes someone else in that loft, wild, impulsive, desired. And every time she returns to her family, she feels more like a ghost. Edward isn't oblivious. He notices changes. Connie hums more, dresses differently, daydreams more. When he reaches for her in bed, she turns away. When he asks questions, she deflects. So Edward hires a private investigator. What comes back is worse than he expected. The detective gives Edward a manila envelope. Inside, photos of Connie laughing, walking into Paul's building, kissing him at the cafe, holding his hand in Soho. One picture shows Connie asleep in Paul's arms by the window. Edward stares for hours. The betrayal hits like a car crash in slow motion. Edward decides to confront the man, not with words, but curiosity. He goes to Paul's loft and pretends to be a potential customer for books. Paul doesn't recognize him. The two men talk. It's tense. Then Edward spots it, a snow globe on Paul's shelf, the same one that disappeared from his house. Suddenly, something inside Edward snaps. He picks it up and smashes it across Paul's head. Blood sprays. Paul stumbles backward, shocked, wounded. Edward, panicked and enraged, hits him again and again. Paul crumples to the ground, lifeless. Edward stands over the body, breathing hard, realizing what he's done. The man who slept with his wife is now dead. Edward wipes the surfaces, wraps the body in a rug. He waits for nightfall. Then, calm and methodical, he loads Paul's body into the trunk of his car. He drives to a city dump and disposes of the body. No one sees him, no one stops him. He returns home before sunrise, quiet, cold, broken. Connie notices Edward is different. He's quieter, he stares more, he avoids her gaze, but he doesn't speak of what he knows. She thinks Paul is ghosting her. She calls him. He doesn't pick up. She visits his apartment. It's empty. She leaves notes. Waits. Nothing. Eventually, she breaks down, and something like guilt starts to settle in. One day, while cleaning Edward's office, Connie finds the photos, the same manila envelope. Her heart pounds. She realizes Edward knew about the affair. Worse, he may have done something, finds her note. The one she left for Paul, in their trash. Suddenly, it clicks. Paul didn't leave her. Edward made him disappear. They don't talk about it. They don't need to. That night, they eat dinner in silence. Charlie babbles about dinosaurs, but the table feels like a funeral. Connie glances at Edward, her lover's killer, her husband, and wonders if anything in her life was ever real. Weeks later, Paul's body is discovered at the dump. The police come to Edward with questions. They have surveillance footage of his car near Paul's apartment. They have no smoking gun, but they're circling. Connie says nothing. Edward stays calm, but both are walking a tightrope. The couple sits at a red light. The police station is just ahead. They don't speak. Guilt is a guest that never leaves. Life resumes in their Westchester home. Charlie plays in the yard. Edward mows the lawn. Connie reads books she doesn't absorb. But the walls of their house feel tighter. Every room whispers Paul's name. The guilt is no longer a feeling, it's a roommate. They sleep beside each other, not touching, not speaking, each lost in their own mental prison. Connie dreams of Paul, his laughter, his poetry, then dreams of his face, bloodied on the floor. Edward lies awake, replaying the snow globe moment over and over, each time wishing he'd walked away. That night, Charlie climbs into bed between them. He asks, "Why don't you two laugh anymore?" Neither has an answer, but the question cuts deeper than any police interrogation, because nothing reminds you of your sins like a child's honesty. Edward sits side by side, parents laugh, cheer, take photos, the lights dim. Charlie steps on stage, playing a tree, and for a moment under the spotlight, they look like a family again. He stirs in the back seat, his voice cuts through the tension. "Are we going home?" Connie turns around, smiling with tears in her eyes. "Yes, sweetheart, we're going home." The door stays closed. They don't confess. They drive away. Not forgiven, not free, just moving. Connie walks past, smiles, but it's not joy, it's survival. Final line, infidelity, murder, silence. And still, they stayed. Not because they were strong, but because they didn't know what else to do. This was Unfaithful. And this is Spoiler House.